So, hello, welcome, Vin Diesel. No, Vin, pronounce it wrong again. Can you tell it for me? So my listeners.
Van Dizzle.
Van Dizzle, like
driving
the
a Van Dizzle.
But like the actor Vin Diesel.
Not like Vin Diesel. No, it's Van
Okay.
Dizzle.
Okay. Great. Yeah. So it's great to have you here. And
thank you.
I came across your account by accident, not accident, but nothing in life I would say is coincidentally. But I like what you said on your videos because it resonated with me. And I am already almost a year on TikTok, posting videos about spiritual topics. And
yes,
I post actually daily stuff about, reincarnation, past lives, all of this. And
yes.
Yeah, I quite resonated with what you said. And yeah, I thought it would be a great thing to talk together, and see.
Yeah, thanks. Thanks a lot for that.
Yeah. So
yes,
yeah.
So I remember.
Okay.
I remember it was actually. Yeah, please. Sorry.
No, sorry. No. Tell me.
It was the first time I went live actually on TikTok. We met on TikTok, right? And
exactly.
This was my very first live experience. I had no idea what to expect, what's going on there. And you kindly asked me, to maybe do a podcast together. It sounded very good to me, and here we are.
Exactly.
So I'm really excited to see where this is going to go. You know?
And because I mean, it's good that we can connect, together and find out what else is out there for our listeners or our followers. And exactly. I started this journey, like I said, 1 year ago, but with the podcast, I started just recently, like 2 or 3 months ago. And I had some interesting guests, and I'm very happy that you took your time and that you are free to talk about all of these things. I don't know if you had the chance to actually see one of my videos or my account, what I talk about, but
I did.
Okay, great.
Yes. I visited your account. I saw a few of your videos, and I was wondering where you are because it looks so beautiful. Is it Greece or no? And I know you have a dog, and you're doing the videos when you're walking with your dog. I figured
exactly.
that out.
You get that one.
And I also have 2 dogs.
Oh, really? Okay.
I also got 2 dogs. So
what kind of dogs?
One, they both mixed actually. One is half a Labrador, and the other half is a Dachshund.
Okay.
So it looks like a big Dachshund actually.
I see. Okay.
And the other one is a Chihuahua and Shih Tzu mix.
Okay.
Yeah, they're really cute. They're really cute.
Yeah. So,
but yes, I saw your videos, and I also saw some of your podcasts partially, to be honest, because of time reasons. But
no problem. But
I did.
Okay. Yeah, they're not my dogs. So from one side, when I'm in Switzerland, now I'm in Greece, I had to come to Greece because I had to do some stuff. But coming here, I used to come here very often, but before COVID. And now it's a difficult procedure, you have to do tests, you have to go there, you have to do so. It has become
I know they make it difficult.
Yeah. So I just had to come here to do some things because I had to come. But I'm here at the place from my father. He lives here near Athens. And it's nice here because, you have the land here, you have the beach.
Yeah.
You have your own peace here. Nobody bothers you. And we have 10 cats and 4 dogs. 2 of them are Labradors. So, And in Switzerland,
it sounds like a nice place, man.
Yeah, exactly. In Switzerland, I also have I take care of the Labrador of my mother's side, and so I'm also every day with dogs. So Labrador there, Labrador here.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Oh man, when they become part of your life, man, you can never get rid of them.
Yeah, that's true.
They love you till the end, the dogs, and you love them too.
Yeah,
they're wonderful beings.
Especially Labradors, because Labradors are good dogs, are family dogs, and
they're very big-hearted, yeah.
Exactly. So yeah, I mean, it's nice to be here, but with the measures and everything here in Greece, it's I don't know what to say. I really I don't want to get into that topic, but
I know, I totally understand.
For now
I'm on
it's
the
not
same
easy.
page here.
Yeah, and for now it's not easy to come here. I hope for the summer, for the tourists, it will be easier. But
yes,
yeah,
yes.
So and
we'll see.
Exactly, but I imagine you are in Berlin, no? In Berlin.
I'm in Berlin. Yes, yes. Well, so I haven't moved from here since a long time.
Yeah.
No.
So I think, but the weather it's nice. I've seen like it was a nice weather. Yeah. Stuff.
It was snowing like a couple days ago.
Okay.
Yeah, we had like snowstorm, and then it was rainy, and the sun came out like April weather, you know.
Okay.
April weather.
Yeah, yeah. But I mean, what I want to say is, it's here. It's sometimes it gets cold, but with the how you call it, humidity.
Humidity.
And that's really worse than having the cold in Switzerland, for example. So.
yeah. I can imagine.
But anyway, let's get to the topic. I wanted to ask you.
Of course, yes.
Tell me a little bit about yourself. How did you get into that? Like, how did you get into TikTok and posting about all of these topics you are talking on?
Yeah. Well, probably like most of the guys, most of the people, I never thought about getting on TikTok.
Okay.
I came across TikTok about a year ago, just because a coworker mentioned it. And I downloaded it and I started, swiping, and it was kind of interesting, but I put it to the side again. And then suddenly, I had this kind of calling. I cannot describe it. I had to do videos on TikTok, and I had no idea about what. Okay. I swear to you, I had no idea. So the first thing that came to my mind was, okay, let's figure out a few sayings, like a few sentences, just maybe just one sentence. Okay. Like, I'm just making up something. Now, if you're angry today, you're going to be angry tomorrow. That's see, something like this. And I started like that, but there was this voice, which wanted to get out, to have its own like content. Okay. And yeah, that's how I'm still evolving, on TikTok. And yeah, making those videos.
Okay, but what made you do that? Like, did you have a background? Were you doing that in the past, or?
Yes. Okay. Yes. Okay. Yes. Well, I was always into spirituality. If this is your question, I've always been into it. I got interested in spirituality when I was 16 years old, and at this point, I did not know that it has something to do with spirituality. My idea was only, my thoughts were, oh my God, I have to find out the truth. There is something. I feel there is something, and I want to find out what it is. And yeah, like a normal teenager, I was living my life, but somehow there was always something inside of me that was looking for truth. And I started to practice yoga when I was 19 years old. I started practicing because I've seen my father practice yoga. Okay. But I never did it. I've seen him like in the morning, in the afternoon, like practicing yoga. And I knew all the exercises, all the physical exercises and stuff. And I just did it at 19. I just said to myself, okay, why not try this? He never pushed me to do it or anything. And it felt, the first time I practiced, it felt like I have been doing this for a very long time. It felt like mine. It was not something unknown, So I kept doing it sporadically. Okay. Not very seriously, but it was there. Yes. If you have questions in between, please ask.
Yeah. No, I'm just listening.
If not, good. Okay. Okay. Yeah. And well, I did what I did in Berlin. I grew up here. I went to school. I had different jobs. Actually, I'm a musician. I wanted to study music here in Berlin, but in the end, I went to study music in Bulgaria.
Oh,
my parents are from Bulgaria.
Really?
Yes.
The wife of my father, she's also Bulgarian.
My goodness.
She's living here, so.
So you're half Bulgarian?
No. The wife,
The wife of
my
my
parents,
father.
yeah, my parents are divorced. So my mother lives in Switzerland.
I see. Okay. Yeah.
And my father is here,
Okay.
not remarried. They're just together. And
Yeah. I
she's
see.
also Bulgarian. And she
Well, you
told
see, there's a.
yeah, she tells me everything about Bulgaria and all the story, and that she went to vote last Sunday for this
Yeah.
for
Yes,
the
my father
presidency.
did too.
Okay.
Yeah, I know.
And
I know
you
about
know
that.
the funny thing now, since you mentioned that, I have a good Bulgarian friend in Berlin. Maybe you know him. His name
Yeah.
is Veso. Veselin. Veselin. But
No, there are
anyway,
a lot
I
of
thought
Vescos. Yeah.
Vescos, yeah. Anyway,
Yeah.
but interesting. Oh, I would have never guessed.
Vesco.
Yeah, I would have never
Yeah.
guessed that you're Bulgarian, to be honest.
Well, yeah.
Okay.
I've spent. I haven't spent a lot of time there.
Okay.
I was born there, but I spent all my life like in Germany or other countries.
Yeah.
And yeah, maybe it has an effect on, but who knows?
But you know the
Yeah.
thing about Bulgarians, I heard that they're very spiritual, most of them.
I don't know. They're like Christian. I grew up like in a not really like hardcore Christian family, but I grew up with that belief. It's the area there. It's Christian Orthodox, and
Yes.
they have a lot of traditions, and they have a lot of festivities, like a lot of festive days that they celebrate. So in a way, they are quite religious, you could say. Yeah.
Yeah. But I mean, also you had very spiritual people in the sense like what's her name? This old blind woman who told was.
Yes,
I
Baba
forgot her.
Vanga.
Yes, exactly. Baba Vanga.
Yes, her name is Baba Vanga. Yes, she was struck by lightning when she was a young woman, and she got blind. She survived, and then she could like see, but without her eyes. She could like see future, past, and all the humans and their lives. Yeah, exactly. I'm getting like this goosebumps right now, but yeah.
But interesting. Because I always knew her story and all that, and I find it quite inspiring. I mean, having such a gift, it's
yes, it's a gift by, you could say, God or whatever you want to call this.
Yeah,
consciousness. I call it consciousness or knowing.
Yeah, but wouldn't you say that, for example, before we were born, in this sense, that the soul decided to have this experience, like Baba Vanga, or like that she got struck by the lightning, and then suddenly she had this gift that, like, it was inside of her, but it was all meant to happen. Okay, in this sense.
Yeah, it's a difficult kind of question. Today I would answer differently, but if I go back, I know also that this is kind of modern now. There sometimes spirituality gets modernized, and certain topics are picked out, like souls are making contracts and stuff, and it's just an interpretation of something that we don't know, maybe. Where I found out about this first was in Tibetan Buddhism. They are talking about this. They have the Tibetan Book of the Dead, where they describe exactly what's going on, and it's incredible. It's a whole process. They know about what's going on, and there they speak about that the soul, your individuality, that actually remains a little. When you die, there's supposed to remain a little part of you, which is individual, that is, of course, mixed with pure consciousness, still part of pure consciousness, and then manifests into another body again in this way. But I have not experienced it. It might be true. From my understanding now, it definitely is possible, but we will find out when we go there.
The thing is, for me, I have this sense of feeling, because that's why I'm talking about, if you aren't sure, if you aren't sure from yourself what you present out into the world, then I wouldn't do that. But I feel certain that I know some things which are certain for me, like, for example, what's happening around the world. I know the truth without even, I don't even have to look in Google, or I know it. I know that's the thing. So
I know what you're talking about. Yes.
So
sure, I totally understand.
Even if they tell you no, it's like this, and like, the truth, you can feel it, and you can sense it. So that's the point. So that's what I meant, you know, like I feel.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I feel for me, in my case, I feel like I would say an old soul, you know, in this case. So, but how do you feel in this sense? What is your knowingness in this? What is your connection with that?
With soul, or
yeah, with
like the question here.
The question would be like I explained. For me, I feel like an old soul, and then I have this knowingness. And if you look at yourself, what do you feel? What do you think about yourself? Do you feel the same, or are you in the same?
Well, I guess kind of. I think truth is universal. There's oneness. And what I came across, what became my experience, and this is also part of why it somehow called me to do something, to get out to, and I used TikTok as a medium first, was the recognition that I am consciousness. I am pure awareness. I am peace. You have many names for it, but the individuality I had before, what we call ego, has no power in this sense anymore. We have to communicate with the world. You see, we're using a mind and stuff. But before, like this recognition, I was serving the ego, and now I can only serve the world. That's what happened. There is no, you know, I'm still a human like everybody, and people often mistake these kind of spiritual awakenings with something huge. In many cases, it's not that way. For a lot of people, it's a gradual process, and then it's like oh my God, and then something happens, you know, like a transformation, because it takes sometimes time for you to get used to this new experience of yourself.
Yeah.
But that's it, actually. And it is never ending. It is never ending. It's, but, you know, from a certain point on, this is like your new beginning, you can say.
Yeah. Look, in this sense, I would say, you know, in this case, like, you know, when you are born, you have to go through, like you said, different phases. And if you would have been given this gift or this knowingness you have now, then you wouldn't learn anything. So the meaning of being here is to learn, you know? To learn. That's why it's a process, you know. You learn with your relationships, you learn with, you know, the partners, or, you know, the woman you met, and all of this. It all made you to be who you are right now. Yeah.
Exactly. In a way, yes, of course. It is a consequence of ourselves that happens right now. I made a video on it, exactly, on this topic also. TikTok videos are very short, but I also came across a lot of videos where, you know, when you ask old people, would you regret anything in your life, or would you have changed anything? And like the wise ones, they say no, because everything that happened made me what I am today. And you can only be grateful. You cannot regret anything. Why should you? It just happens.
Yeah.
You cannot even force it. I mean, you can have a really strong will to find out the truth. You can have a love for, you know, for God, or for whatever you want to call it. But maybe it's not in your power in the end, you know?
Because that's why you are there where you are, no? I mean, I could be also there, or I could be there, or whatever, but I'm for a reason, I am here and I'm there, you know? So and the people you meet, they're also there to show you certain things or something you haven't still not released or loved of yourself, or any kind of things that you still have to work on yourself, actually. So
definitely, because we, like I said, I don't think that we all are different. Maybe I haven't said it today. We are actually one. But in that sense, whoever other, I don't think of others anymore, but whoever person sits in front of you or is close to you is like a reflection of yourself. So you have the opportunity, consciousness has the opportunity to see itself through what you not perceive as this body.
Yeah, exactly. But I mean, you had this information or this knowingness already inside of you, but because you were growing up with certain patterns or with certain beliefs from your parents or friends or whatever, they were buried underneath, underneath the. That's why.
Yeah.
Tell me.
Oh, I didn't have it from the beginning. With time, through my yoga teacher or through reading a lot of spiritual literature, I got the point intellectually, but to understand it intellectually is not full. Like, there's mental understanding, and then there's experiencing it. So the mind goes to a certain place where it cannot go further, and from that point on, it has to give up. And this happens to us every day, actually, but we don't pay attention, and we don't stay in what we are anchored.
Yeah.
And so we get into trouble again. But it was not my understanding in the beginning. Of course, it is part of us since forever. But we overlook it, like you said. And conditioning is a part of it, like you said. Of course, conditioning is a part of it. We go to school, our parents tell us things, others at work, at the university, and we built a persona, an ego that is consistent with that, with all these beliefs that are not yours.
Yeah.
So we got to find out, what is our real true belief? Am I actually okay with this? Is this true? And oftentimes we don't ask ourselves the right questions. That it also comes to asking yourself the right questions oftentimes. No?
Yeah. But that's also the same thing what's happening now around the world. I mean, if you don't question anything or what's happening, then you're trapped in this paradigm or in this belief, how you call it.
Yeah.
But
definitely.
But yeah.
No, please finish your question.
Yeah. But I must say, knowing the truth and seeing what's happening, it's not always easy to cope with that, to live with that, because you want to also change the perspective of others. But if they're not, in this sense, like we're getting back to that topic, awakened or whatever you should call that, then you can do whatever you want, but they will never believe you or trust you, or you will think they will think you're crazy or whatever. So
yes, I absolutely agree. I was talking about this exactly same thing with my wife, not only one time, but like two days ago, again, very recently. And my conclusion is this, from my understanding now, that as long as we choose sides, we choose this side or the other side, we are doomed. We are in the same boat. Anyway, we are in the same boat. But there's nothing wrong with wanting to help anybody. It is the desire of a human, of a good human being, like to share and to help. If you see somebody in need, or that has a belief that you think, my God, it's a little bit, I want to help him or her, but we cannot do it. Actually, it's like you said, you're only making it worse. The problem is that human beings somehow we judge each other in a wrong way. You see, let's put the name here on the table. If somebody is a COVID supporter, I mean, believes in vaccination, whatever, it's absolutely fine with me. They can have that decision, they can have that belief, it's all good. Before that, I thought, man, how can they think this way? I don't think this is correct. They're trying to, there's a whole nother thing going on there in the background and nobody sees it. Why not? I mean, look at it, really study, do your own research,
Yeah.
But this is the same boat.
Yeah, but that's your perspective and your ego trying to convince that they should see your point.
Exactly.
But that's not the thing. That's not the lesson for.
Yeah.
You should.
And each side is not respecting each other. When they both would say, okay, I respect your opinion, well, do whatever you please. But why should people then attack each other, Yeah. And this is what bothered me, but now I know that I cannot do anything about it. It is what it is.
Yes.
And it's part of the whole thing. So
yeah, but I can tell you a similar or experience I had just yesterday. because I had to go, we are outside of Athens, and I had to go into Athens to do some things yesterday. So I went with the train. It's very fast. It's like a S-Bahn in Germany. Same thing, it's very fast. So in this train, there was a woman, and she saw three young kids, or teenagers, okay? And they were not wearing the mask properly. And I was listening to the woman. She was starting, please, you cannot do this to us, to the society. And I mean, me hearing this, I got like, like I have to say something, I cannot stand it. So my question for myself was, what's the lesson here? Do I let my ego convince that I have to say something, or you will let this woman? But then I was thinking about these kids, these teenagers, and I just said to the woman, please leave these kids to decide for themselves what's good for them and not, okay? And she looked at me like, whoa, perplexed, And then these kids, when I got out of the train, they came after me and said, hey, I really thank you, like, I mean, they were thankful that somebody said something, because they felt that that's nonsense what they're doing, this whole thing. They're
absolutely.
So I felt I had to do something, but I had to convince my ego, because I don't wanted to say anything more. Where
I totally understand. Man, I was in situations like this a lot of times, and so weird, but all these things you're talking about, I very recently, like, again, thought about them. In the end, no, not in the end, but in reality, it doesn't matter what decision you make. It will always be the decision you make. Our minds, our ego makes it right or wrong decision. So knowing this takes a lot of pressure off of somebody. It stops the whole overthinking thing, like, oh, should I do it this way? Should I do it that way? Should I choose this business partner? Should I do that? Maybe I should say this, maybe I should do that. Man, say something, and the rest will come anyway out of it. But yeah, it was a fantastic story you shared with the kids. It came like intuition. It came out. So why stop it? Leave it.
Yeah, but also, why waste your energy and time for somebody who doesn't realize what they're doing? I mean, let them realize it themselves. Let them go through that, because maybe they have to go through their own lesson. You don't have to convince them, hey, look, that's their thing. They have to go through that.
So, and that's a very hard lesson for these types of spiritual people, because they start to want to heal the world or save everybody. It's not possible.
Yeah, exactly.
Whatever happens. You can do only what you can do. Somebody can be saved only if he or she wants to be saved.
Yeah.
And
exactly. So, but also, we are not like, we are healing the world, but in another way, in energy wise.
Yes.
Energy wise.
Exactly.
So with our
through
energy,
presence.
Through presence.
Through through awareness, through raised awareness, through the longing for truth, through studying, through just your own vibration and energy, lifts automatically up the whatever is around you.
Exactly.
Definitely.
So that's why this happened for a reason, and then you ask yourself, okay, how did you manage that? Because I think when this life ends, let's say, okay, because it doesn't end actually. It's just like a transition, I would say, for me. Everybody else can see it differently. And then somebody will ask you, you will be in front of judges or whatever. What did you do? What did you do in that situation? Did you do it wisely? Did you learn something from that? Or did you just did you just do it out of your ego, or So I think that's why when I look back into my life, if I arrive at a certain point in my life, I ask myself, did I do it right, or did I do something wrong, and then I have to do it better the next time? That's how I think.
Yes.
That's how I see it.
Yes.
So yeah,
I understand.
Exactly. But I mean, you have to cope with that especially now, on a daily basis. You see people like this, they are being negative, Like you don't wear a mask and then you are, I don't know, you are against the whole procedure, but you don't you don't want to support this whole thing. So you have to really look at yourself. How will you handle this whole situation? That's the question.
Yes. Yes. Well, I came across this quote to make the circle back to the beginning. I came across this quote from Krishnamurti. Jiddu Krishnamurti was a great Indian thinker, philosopher, teacher. And at one point, he was teaching like over 50 years, I think, in front of people. He was tirelessly until the end, until he died. At some point, they asked him, "What is your secret?" And he said, "I don't mind what happens." You see, and that's actually is really deep for me, because
yeah, that's good.
To not mind what happens does not mean that you don't recognize it. Does not mean that you don't think about it. Does not mean that you don't feel anything about it.
It has a deeper meaning. It has a deeper meaning.
Yes, you're coming from a totally different perspective. He's coming from a totally different perspective, saying that.
Exactly.
And yeah, I remind myself now during the day. I don't mind what happens. You see, of course, we want always to get involved, but we should let things be like they are. It's not in our power.
Exactly. Yeah, it's not in our power because, like I said before, each one has their own lesson maybe to be learned. Maybe they will learn it in this lifetime or in another. Because I believe that we all have also karma. No, if I go to that topic, karma is a good thing to relate to because we I don't know if you believe in past lives, but you know when you had
I do now.
Okay.
Yeah.
When you had something, when you did something in the past life, and you came into this life, and you have this karma. I mean, you cannot do. You cannot replace bad karma with good karma. You have to do it.
Lower it off.
Yeah, exactly.
It has to. It works off automatically, but you cannot do anything to make it faster or slower or.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yes. So, it's a difficult lesson. Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely.
So
karma is a.
Yeah. So,
please talk. I'm very curious about that topic.
Yeah. So for me, like I tell you, I have done past life regressions, and I have learned a lot of myself, and I've seen things I would have never thought I would see, especially like I lived in ancient Egypt and Greece. That's why I feel there's no coincidence. I'm Greek, not all Greek, no 100%. I'm like father is Greek, you know. So and Egypt because my father's born in Egypt, but Greek. So you see that all this has a relationship from the past. And when I'm here or when I'm there in Egypt,
agree.
I feel connected to these places, you see. And
yeah, absolutely.
I mean, there is no coincidence.
But how did it come about? Did you go to some kind to a person who was studying this and I mean practicing this regression?
Yes, I have a friend of mine who does that. Yeah, she did it for me. Yeah.
Okay.
But I've done also in Berlin last year. I was in Berlin, and my Bulgarian friend who lives in Berlin,
Vesko.
Veselin, yeah. Veselin.
Yeah,
his name is Veselin, yeah. But I'll call him Vesko. And he told me go to this friend of mine who lives in somewhere in Neukölln, I don't remember, in the center. So I came to stay there in Berlin for 2 days, and I did this past life regression. And when she saw me, the woman, she's a, how you call that? They're like, I forgot the name, but she's like a therapeutic.
Medium.
Medium, yeah, exactly, something like that. Yeah. I forgot the name. So anyway, when she saw me, she saw like, oh, you must be someone like very like in the spirit sense, old. You know?
Okay.
And when we did that regression, she felt like I felt connected. I feel connected to the universe, you know, more connected to the universe than here on Earth. So I knew that that there is something more deeper into that, you know. And
kind of makes sense. Of course, there's something, some part of you, and then you find out about it, and you feel like a little bit more complete. Like, okay, this is why it is. Maybe this is why I have these thoughts. This is why I have these feelings, and I can totally understand.
Yeah,
I've never had some.
Yeah, but very interesting stuff, because I resonated with what she said.
Yeah.
And I felt when I was doing this regression, because you are in trance, you are like astral traveling, you know? And then you feel like, whoa, you go up with your soul in the universe, and then you see the stars and you feel home. For me, it was like this. You know.
Incredible.
Yeah. And then I started to get into it more, you know, since when I did that regression. I looked into that, and then I saw that for a reason I have this star sign, you know, from the galactic.
What are you? What star sign are you?
I am Taurus, and I come from this.
My wife is too.
Okay. And I thought, okay, I'm not so into astrology, but it has all a meaning, you know. That's why when I looked into that,
it does.
I knew that the pyramids, for example, in Egypt, have also a meaning. They're showing that star sign, for example. They're exactly located where they are, because they're pinpointing actually the star signs. If you look at it from outside, from Earth, you can see it has a meaning, you know. When you calculate everything, and
it's true. There's a lot of mysteries there that people have forgotten, or there are some people that do not want to say.
Exactly. Yeah.
Maybe. But definitely, I mean, I definitely think that there were very advanced civilizations before us here.
Yeah.
Otherwise, this could not have happened with the pyramids. And there are pyramids all over the world. There are pyramids under the sea. There are obelisks, and it's all the same. So that means it comes from one source.
Exactly.
From one type of civilization. I mean, the advancement of it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Give me a second. 1 second.
Of course.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's interesting that that I got into this past life regression thing, because I was never looking into that. So it was like a calling, you know, I would say. It was like I got introduced from my Bulgarian friend in Berlin to this woman, and that's how I got into this past life regression thing. And it was interesting encounter, I would say, because it took like 3 hours or 4 hours, but when I was astral traveling, I didn't even notice the time. It went like really fast.
Because there is no time. We humans, we make up time in our minds.
Exactly. Yeah.
And but in reality, there is no time, and it's difficult to perceive because our senses are made like that. Our senses are really limited. Actually, they break down matter. So we built this world. This world is built inside of us, and actually a projection to outside, not the other way around.
Exactly. Yeah.
But and sometimes, like you said, things happen, man. You're not thinking about it, and suddenly a friend tells you about something, and then you're somewhere, like it took you. You're in a new life because you had a past life regression, you know, and you were just drinking tea the day before, you know, whatever. We can never know what happens.
Yeah. Have you ever done like psychedelic, like what's it called? This you know,
psychedelics,
truffle or mushroom or ayahuasca, for example.
This again is very modern now today. I see a danger to it, in the sense that it is like this world. If you go there, you think that it is real, but it can also totally be imaginary from your whatever subconscious, unconscious mind. You can make it up.
Okay.
It can definitely be real, but what sense does it make when you don't take it back into where you are the whole time? DMT, they call it DMT now, because the brain also releases DMT, and when you take mushrooms or ayahuasca or whatever, and you have this DMT overload, and it like kicks you back in for 10, 15, 20 minutes, and you're somewhere you don't know where you're dead. This is what happens when you die, and then you come back. it's like a death of the, it's also part of death of ego.
Yeah.
You free yourself from something, and then you perceive things, but what are these things? You don't question. And I took LSD once.
Okay.
And it was a kind of interesting experience. It was a nice experience for me. I felt like whole with everything, and I felt like everything has a vibration and everything is so nice. You know, this was my experience of it. But I felt everything alive.
Yeah.
And it was kind of changing in that moment. And this experience, even after the trip wore off, it lasted for a while during the day, and sometimes it came back. LSD works like that; it comes sometimes back. Yeah. And you're like, oh my God, everything is alive. It was a lesson, but what does it change now?
Yeah, for me also, I felt intrigued because a friend of mine told me he did this magic mushroom thing or truffle.
Yeah.
And I wanted to try it out. So I did the truffle.
How was it? Yeah.
It was quite an experience, I would say. I mean, I never expected, to see certain things. I saw some things which made me realize how the world is actually.
Yeah.
Like I saw some things like, whoa.
Yeah. It's we can go there without the drugs. I know. When you meditate, you go through that state actually. You go through that state, and it's just like a passing state. It's like a dimension. But you have to go through, and meditation and the teachers, they teach you, do not pay attention. Do not pay attention to that. Just don't pay any attention. Just leave it. Just leave it pass by, whatever it is. Because I know people see monsters there. Man, people see ugly creatures. They see incredible things, but like with a lot of eyes and whatever. And it's incredible. I've seen it too in normal meditation. But that's not where we're supposed to be. That's not where we're supposed to stay. Just move on.
Yeah, I mean, for me, for example, I don't know why, but when I did this, I had a guide. He guided me and everything. It's not that I took it and then
good.
I wanted to do it with a specialist. And
but you can trip. As you can have really
exactly,
have fear, a lot of fear and panic. And
so the funny thing is, when I started doing it, I suddenly mentioned Mark Zuckerberg. I don't know. I made fun of him because his name Zuckerberg, like mountain of sugar.
Wow.
And then I don't know why I mentioned him the whole time, and I was laughing, and I'm like, ha ha ha, Zuckerberg. And then I'm changing the name from Zuckerberg to Zuckerberg because I was saying, hey, I was like, why am I mentioning him? Like, what's the reason? I have nothing against him.
Yeah.
But then for a reason, I'm like laughing, and because he's like controlling WhatsApp, Instagram, and I'm like, oh. It's like,
Well, he's kind of a controlling figure. Yes, it was a realization of his subconscious that actually he's more powerful than you believe him to be.
Yeah,
this is why so many people attack him and stuff, because people attack what they fear also.
Yeah, exactly. But I'm like, is it coincidence that his name is Zuckerberg? Because like sugar mountain, and it makes you addicted. Like, okay.
Yeah, true. Oh, it's so funny. Yeah,
you understand what I mean.
Funny realization, totally, man.
Exactly.
No, I'm going to laugh every time I hear his name. Oh my God.
But really, man. I still ask myself why did my subconscious bring this guy up when I was doing this trip?
There's no reason. It just happens.
Exactly.
Why are we having certain dreams? We don't choose our dreams normally. We can, but normally dreams happen like they happen. We don't choose them, and you're somewhere doing something.
Yeah, but you know that dreams actually are an indication, because we are living in different dimensions. Okay, I don't know if you agree with that, but what I know from my own belief and what I have seen also is that when you decide to go one way, then there are many other dimensions where you could have gone that way, and they're all existing. You understand? So if you would have decided to do this, and then there's 1,000 other possibilities out there.
Yeah,
that's what I wanted to say. And the dreams are an indication.
Yeah, I found that out only a few years ago.
Okay, so you understand what I mean, no? When you
yes.
Okay. Yeah. So there are different
dreams are indication. Yeah, I think the dream. there are different dimensions. Yes, there are different dimensions, but they're just also, from my understanding now, they're just also part of the one. It's not different to it. That they exist is an interesting fact, because how would you know? But also it came to me like in a little bit of meditative state where I found out, oh my God, there are like multiple dimensions, not only multiple universes, unlimited universes at this moment right now. And you switch dimensions. You switch dimensions and you don't know it. But you can do it consciously, but you also do it unconsciously. We switch dimensions. In the end, what does it benefit us? That's what I'm doing. I'm trying to help the people to find out who they really are, and then switching dimensions is not a problem anymore. I mean, it doesn't bother you. It doesn't concern you. Yeah. It just happens. It is what it is.
That's true.
It is definitely interesting. I totally agree. How do people come to these conclusions? I don't know. Sometimes it just happens like that, and the information is there, and you're like, wow,
yeah,
what was that?
Yeah. But for example,
so I feel you in that sense.
Yeah, but for example, all of these guys, you know, Einstein, Tesla, they were all in that kind of dimension. They were seeing things that we couldn't see, for example. That's why, you know, they were geniuses, we would say, in this sense. You know?
Yes. Yeah, you could call them like highly evolved human beings.
Yeah, exactly.
Spiritual people, actually, because let's take this word. People think that being spiritual means to like have crystals or whatever. I have no problems with that, you know, but actually spirituality is something totally different. It's like belonging, the searching for truth.
I have my crystal here.
Yeah, I also have a crystal. I have an amethyst. I'm not wearing it, but I also have like 2 stones, and they're nice.
Yeah.
But that's what I was trying to say. Scientists, if you take scientists like Einstein and Tesla, in a way, this is looking for truth. You know what they're doing, and because they're human like everybody else, they have these I don't know how you call them in English.
You mean
like these lightnings of ideas that suddenly come into your head, like
the input. They got inputs.
Yeah.
Inputs. Exactly.
Yeah.
I know what you mean. Yeah. So, like for example, if you take Tesla, he was a genius because he invented free energy. He could have he could generate energy out of the how you call it, not free air, but from gravity. Sorry, exactly.
Yes.
So, and they suppressed that. You know, the big guys. You know,
of course, you run out of money. It's all about money there.
Because
it would cure a lot of things.
Yeah, also, and especially, you know, I am a big supporter of alternative medicine. Like, I don't believe in this pharmaceutical stuff. You know, this vaccine and everything. If it becomes obligatory, you won't see me anymore. I will be somewhere. I don't believe in all these things, you know, because the body can actually heal itself. You know, I am a true believer in that. Whatever you have, cancer, everything, that it's because you created that. You created either through your DNA because you had, you know, from your ancestral, or you created it by yourself by negative thoughts. And so
that is a very interesting and hard lesson to really understand that we make this whatever happens to us. I also am a supporter of like, if you want to call it alternative medicine. For me, this is the real medicine, actually. Exactly. The alternative medicine is the pharmaceutical business. What they actually did was they were copying nature. Humans, we are born to live according to nature, not against nature. Okay. And there's this whole like knowledge of plants, healing plants. You don't even know that it is healing. It's growing somewhere on the corner of the street, and if you have something like some illness, you cook a tea out of it, and then you're totally fine. So all information is there. We don't know it. People before us, or still a lot of people know this, but most of us don't know. Yeah. And then we go and take a tablets, but the tablets, it will not cure you. It will numb your pain. or hit you in a different place, you know, like have side effects or whatever. And not only nature, well, let's also call it nature, but also there are people that have Reiki. I also am a Reiki practitioner. I learned Reiki in Bulgaria.
Okay.
I can put my hands on myself. The energy flows by itself. I can put on other people, and it's fine. It works. It works. It's not like opening yourself up like a like having surgery and taking it out, but it works in another way.
Yeah, I understand. Yeah, I mean, at the end, you can heal yourself if you know how. I mean,
yeah.
But all of this information is all suppressed, and I don't blame, for example, the doctors and everything, because they all learned. They went to study by studying the pharmaceutical side of being cured. You know, that's the point.
Yes.
They don't see the other side. There are many who know about the alternative medicine, but they go with the other side. That's why you see now what's happening, that there's a big gap between these people who don't believe anymore in this stuff and those who are, you know.
It will, my prognosis is this. Now one side is like this and the other side is like this. First it will balance and then the other side will go up. So this will be funny too, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
It's not possible that it's only like this. It's not possible. The nature will call its balance and then it will show the other side.
Yeah.
But we'll see. It's a matter of time.
That's why you always need a balance, you know, yin and yang. Everything in the world or on earth has to be balanced.
Yeah.
So
it looks for balance, yes.
Exactly. So if you have earthquakes or you have tsunamis or you have all of these things, it's because the earth has to balance itself.
Yeah.
You know, I read this book. I read this book, The Breakthrough Experience, from John DeMartini. That's a very good book. And he talks specifically about this kind of things. You know, when there are wars or when there are things, you know, or for example, Earth, you know, happens to do this kind of things with the volcano or earthquakes, is because it has to balance. So, too much negative energy, if you have too much of it, it's out of balance. Or if you have too much positive, or, you know, so it has to be always yin and yang. That's why yin and yang. That's why there's
that's why they have this symbol. Yeah, it's a nice symbol.
Exactly. Yeah. So that's what happening. That's what happening now. There's too much negative. You see, so we're out of balance. Let's see where it's heading. I don't know. I mean,
but look, like you said in the beginning, in the same way, a lot of people like have these awakenings, or they feel like something is happening to them. They somehow open their minds because they're forced to, in a way. There's so much negativity and you're so isolated. A lot of people are so isolated or isolate themselves that they finally have to come close to themselves and think about themselves a little bit. Oh my God, what am I? Who am I? What is this? Or what's happening here? What's going on with me? Oh my God, you know what I mean? They're confronted with with themselves for the first time, like a little bit forcibly, but it seems to have an effect now.
Yeah, exactly. It has an effect, but like in the others, from the other side, like if you believe that if you do something and you can help others, then you should do that. Like for example, here in Greece, it's obligatory to even wear a mask if you are in the street outside, out of the home. So since I came here, when I'm somewhere in the center of Athens, I don't wear a mask because I need fresh air. It's obviously. If you wear a mask all day long, it doesn't help you. So I was the first one, and then suddenly you see other people. He doesn't wear a mask, okay. You know, so somebody, you have to do something.
That's funny.
Because otherwise you will be like them. You have to do something. You have to, you understand? So
it's very interesting. In different countries, you know, they have a little bit different temperament. The Italians are a little bit different, Spanish are different, you know, the Germans, you probably know, are very different, the Greek people, and they all react differently a little bit. Here in Germany, like if you wouldn't have a mask in a place where you have to wear a mask, like in public transport, they will probably attack you and beat the shit out of you almost because you're not wearing a mask. You are making danger to the whole society, to all the people. In Greece, you see, you take off the mask and they're like, oh, maybe I can take off my mask as well. In other countries, they go on the street and they protest immediately. Immediately, they say, "No, we want to be free. We want to be free."
Yeah.
What happens in Germany? Everybody stays like this. I better say nothing. I better say nothing. You see, it's a different mentality.
Yeah. Look, I mean, I live in Switzerland, in Zurich. Okay, and I just got a video today from an activist who lives not in Zurich but in another canton in Switzerland, and they went today out in the street and they shouted in French, "Liberté, free, freedom, freedom," and the police were coming because they were all gathering without masks. And what did the police do? They left. Bye bye, because all the people were there and they were shouting freedom, freedom in French. So they left. What they want to do? You want to take your freedom away? You understand? I mean, in Switzerland, at least, they have their rights still. You know, you have your own right. You can vote. You can vote against all of this. That's what they're going to do in Switzerland now. They're going to vote against all of these measures they have against the people there. You know, and that's, you see, that's why for another reason I'm there. I always thought, why am I there so many years? And I'm like, okay, at least something is good.
Of course, you can always make a change somewhere, wherever it is.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, okay, Switzerland is not Germany from the size, but still they can make a huge difference. So, but anyway, what I want to say is I really got so much out of this conversation. I hope you too. And,
me too. It was very enlightening.
And
I learned a lot.
Yeah, exactly. I see we are almost like an hour, and usually I do like an hour, and it's good that we had so much to talk about, and I hope our listeners or followers will also get something out of this. And
I hope so too.
If you have something to add, please feel free, or if you want to say something. Otherwise.
Well, I can only send a message of peace, and I wish for everybody to have peace in their hearts, and to treat everybody like they would treat themselves.
Yeah, I like that. Very good. So it was.
Thank you so much, Adrian.
It was.
I feel like we have become friends.
Yes, me too. We should definitely stay in touch.
I want to meet you. I want to meet you, please. If you ever come to Berlin, or whenever it happens. Yeah, sure.
I will. My Bulgarian friend is there.
Here.
So I have another Bulgarian friend in Berlin. That's good.
You're collecting Bulgarian friends.
Exactly.
Oh man.
So
okay, man. So thank you very much.
Thank you, and take care. Have a nice.
Be blessed, my friends.
Thanks. See you.
You too, man. Take care. Bye.
Bye.